Welcome to the 16-ounce Cinema Podcast.
Hello and welcome to 16-ounce Cinema, where we drink pints and talk pictures. I'm TJ. I'm here as always with Angus.
I always have a fun name, so I looked at my name in Hindu, and it's apparently Engas.
Engas?
E-N-G-A-S. Engas.
Engas.
Yeah.
And Michael Meow Mike
is actually Mike right now. It's the same. It's just it's Mike is how you say it. So I am Mike. Hello.
Did you actually look it up?
Yeah, I looked it up. I'm literally looking at it right now.
Yes.
It's M-A-I-K.
I never looked mine up. I assume TJ would be the same because they have VJ, right? So.
Well, what about Jaguar?
Don't.
Oh, I have it right here. Your name is Ek Prakar Janarvara.
That's how do you get that from TJ?
I don't know. I typed in Jaguar.
Oh, I thought that was from TJ. I was like,
Yeah, me Their abbreviations are 4 times as long as a regular name.
Like other languages, it takes a lot more words to say one thing, but it's more descriptive about that one thing. So if you haven't picked up, this is our Bollywood episode. That's where we're all coming up with our Indian names. Well, let's get right into our beers because I really want to get into mine. So today, Michael goes first.
And so I got one of my favorite beers of all time, and for the first time it makes sense for my movie. It's Cigar City's High Life India Pale Ale.
Oh, okay. We took the broad term and just India Pale Ale ascribes to everything. I didn't even think of that.
I didn't either. I was going so specific.
Yeah. So what'd you get that was specific?
It really wasn't. I went to Total Wine to get like an actual Indian beer. And they only
don't have one.
No, they do have one.
Mine didn't.
They have one. It's called Taj Mahal, but it was out of stock.
Nice.
Oh.
So what I did was I got...
So you got Coors?
Yeah, Coors.
That was my backup beer, like my ones for drinking in between the show, yes. No, but I got the thing that was closest to it. And by closest to it, I mean literally the thing that was next to it, which is Einstök. It's an Icelandic white ale. So I assume I assume Iceland is next to India. I'm not sure. I don't know my geography that well.
Alphabetically, maybe not geographically, but alphabetically. So
I've never had a beer from Iceland. Okay. That sounds great.
Well, there's like a Viking on it, and yeah, I don't know. But the cool thing is, I have my Cigar City little pint glass that I'm going to be drinking out of, so it goes back to yours.
I'm most excited to hear about how your beer tastes. So I ran into a problem not being able to find anything actually from India, but I did find it's from Avery Brewing Company. It's the Maharaja Imperial IPA, so that means it's a 10% IPA from their website, because the 10%.
Holy shit.
Maharaja is derived from the Sanskrit words mean Mahat, meaning great, and Rajan, meaning king. Much like its namesake, this Imperial IPA is regal, intense, and mighty. With hops and malts as his servants, he rules both with a heavy hand. The Maharaja flaunts his authority over a deranged amount of hops, tangy, vibrant, and pungent, along with an insane amount of malted barley, fashioning a dark amber hue, an exquisite malt essence. Welcome to his kingdom.
Are you reading us the Wikipedia page on it?
No, I went to Avery Brewing because the can doesn't actually have anything on it. So I was like, oh, I got to have something to say about this beer other than it's 10%. Their website also says like it has like flavor profiles. It's basically like this is all hops.
Mine actually has a story on it. It's like our quest was simple. And I just imagine it in like Nordic fucking term.
The Warriors of Nordstrom, our band that we imagined that would destroy Nordstrom, the Viking metal band. With oh my god, it was Eric the Brutal Leaf, the bane of humanity, Edmond the Skinner. And who is
let's open the beer.
who is the red-blooded scourge?
Jesus.
Shit. I always forget him, but
Grundok.
Grundok, yes. Grundok.
Yeah. All right, let's
beer
drink our
time.
beers and come back to reality. This one doesn't smell like... It said it was pungent, but it's not pungent.
Oh.
It's got good head.
Maybe it's old. You're not supposed
I'm all
to
about
age
that
late
foam,
beers.
you know. This is really good, fluffy foam.
Fuck, I got a lot of foam, too.
Well, no,
damn
mine's
it.
great-looking foam. It's really
No.
like, well-aerated foam.
No, I have a lot of it. This is my first time actually using a glass.
First time ever pouring a beer. Yep.
Pretty much. I chug like a regular
I've never seen you
alcoholic.
pour a beer, I guess, now that I think about it.
That does not taste like 10%. Oh, this beer is trouble.
TJ's gonna make fun of me like the last half of the episode now.
Yeah, I'm going to have 3 of
drunk.
these, and I'm just going to be so
bully you.
belligerent. I hope you guys are ready to lose this episode because it's going to be 3 hours long because all our movies were 4 hours long.
Oh, God.
And I'm having just really heavy, easily drinkable beer.
How many did you buy?
A 6-pack.
Oh, shit. I only bought a single.
How
Well,
much was it? How much was a 6-pack of that?
$20.
Holy.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I've still got a lot of foam. My beer was great. It was fucking amazing. It's probably the best beer I've had since we started this podcast.
What was the name of
Says-
it again?
It's Einstock Icelandic White Ale, and it's like got like the
Alright.
orange peel like brewed into it. Wit beer, I don't know. But
I love white
it's
beer.
fucking
Yeah.
fantastic.
Awesome. And, of course, we all kind of know High Lie.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Yeah.
We all got to have it fresh from the tap except somebody.
I don't want to talk about this story. Right
Okay, so we actually went to visit Cigar City, the brewery. And if you don't know what Mike looks
my
like,
favorite
pause,
brewery.
go to our Facebook. It's 16 Ounce Cinema. You'll find us. And Mike's the big fucking dude with the beard, okay? And we went there, sat down at the bar, and you know, Mike was, 31 at the time? Or 30
Yeah.
at the time?
Yeah, I was like 31,
Yeah,
32.
and each of us is like, me and Angus are 27, 28. And so he asked for ID. I'm like, fair enough. And Mike didn't have his. And this was a sort of special trip we had made out there because Mike and I didn't live on this coast. This was a 4-hour drive to visit Angus and go to Cigar City. And they didn't serve Mike because he didn't have his ID, even though he looked fucking 40.
But
So I sat there for 2 hours while these two assholes made fun of me the whole time.
I wish we had that recorded because we were nasty. We were downright vicious.
it was fucking brutal. But my favorite part is like we all got a pint glass. That's the one I'm drinking out of right now. We all got one and got to tour the brewery, and we got to try each one as we went. And Mike was just sitting there holding an empty glass the whole time. They wouldn't fill it.
Yeah, the tour guide was like, I can't serve you. Even the tour guide was like, nope. He had to sit there like he was our kid.
I really hated that. It just shows how much I really love their beer that I don't hold that against anybody.
Right, yeah. They were all really cool about it. We were the ones that were fucking bastards.
Well, just imagine if they bullied him too. Like, what's the matter, little kid? Like,
Hey, this guy.
Well, imagine if they found out it was my favorite brewery, so they gave you guys each a free beer or something.
we got sent home with shirts and you got nothing.
Yeah. Do you have ID? I can't give you a shirt. Sorry.
Oh my god!
That promotes
Technically-
underage drinking.
Technically, you're not even supposed to be in the building, but we'll let it slide.
Yeah, why did they let me sit in the building? That doesn't make sense. You're not allowed kids in the bar, right? Because I was under 21 or something. So, the fuck did they do? I'm gonna write them a letter.
Mike gets them shut down.
Oh my god.
Oh.
That's it. One of the 4 people who listen to this podcast is like a legislator.
How was your beer, TJ?
Oh yeah, I said it. It's like I thought it was going to be super like overly hoppy and overly dry and overly alcoholic, but it is like crisp and a little creamy, and I don't taste that 10%.
Okay.
I finished mine.
Mine's good. I'm almost done with mine, which is a problem because mine is 2.
Yeah.
So let's start talking
I'm
about these
nervous
movies
about this,
before
okay.
I'm obliterated.
All right. Well, I watched a movie called 3 Idiots, which is a slapstick comedy about 3 people in college that become friends, and they form a bond because they have a really shitty headmaster and they have really mean teachers, and none of them want to be engineers, even though they went to engineer school.
That happens a
So
lot.
it's kind of their fault.
Did you pick?
Yeah. So imagine if they're like.
Did you pick this
Yeah?
just because it sounds like us?
Actually, I picked 3 Idiots because I was like, well, this looks fun, and then I realized, hey, that could be us.
Yeah,
So-
when we were in the chat,
so
you
it's
said
kinda like
3
one of those
idiots,
things.
and I thought you were just talking about us. Like, I didn't realize at first you were naming a movie.
So the music was pretty good overall. Like, I expected a bunch of weird Bollywood shit, but the movie was just like a minute under 3 hours.
Jesus.
And I enjoyed the music. Like, I looked forward to the weird-ass music breaks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It went from, like, songs about mountains to, like, songs under the sea. Then there was, like, a jet
Under
ski
the
song
sea.
and shit like that.
This sounds like, yeah, you're.
I thought it was really cool.
You watched Little
Someone
Mermaid?
Yeah, they went
music
everywhere.
right now. How many musical numbers?
Yeah,
were
it was
there?
dubbed in Indian. I was like, yeah. Huh?
How many musical numbers were there?
At least 9 to 10.
Shit.
Oh, sorry, hang on. No, I actually wrote it down. There was 12 montages and
Montage.
19 montage
Montage.
and 19 music video sequences. But I did count like the 40-second ones too in the 19.
Right.
But there was at least 9 or 10 like 3-minute, 4-minute long ones.
Oh, that's
so.
awesome.
Yeah. I also thought everyone spoke English, I guess, when they were excited, but it turns out they just speak English 20% of the time because America is awesome and English is awesome.
Yeah.
That's just my guess.
When I first started
it was
watching Indian movies, that was the thing that like confused me, that they just like randomly speak English and then randomly have full
Yeah.
conversations in English and then switch back to
Yeah.
Hindi or I think the other one was
Yeah, like there
Tamil.
was a couple points where like 3 or 4 sentences in a row from a guy's like in English. I'm like, what? How does everybody just know English? I guess so.
Yeah,
So,
I assume so because if they put it in the movie like that,
yeah.
I just assume they only know like 4 sentences.
and they're just really proud to use them whenever they can. But everyone
the
in
gist
the,
of the
country
movie-
knows those 4 sentences.
So the gist of the movie is 2 friends, and they're looking for their 3rd friend named Rancho, who has been missing for a decade. This movie goes back and forth through like the college years and like 10 years later, so like Saved by the Bell kind of. And also their rival from college is also there because he wants to show Rancho that he's the man and has always been the man, and that Rancho isn't the man, so he's holding a grudge. He's kind of like Bret Hart, which is great because like the only name I caught during the whole movie was Rancho because he is so cool and every other character sucks. So I don't know anybody's name except Rancho and Bret Hart there.
Rancho is a pretty badass name.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh yeah, the very like best singing thing came like when they were in college the first time, and that starts with them just shaving and having a normal morning conversation. But then like this music starts playing, and then everyone's pooping and washing themselves and like singing. And so like there's a bunch of people in the toilets with their pants down singing, and there's people in like bathtubs just like soaping themselves up, and they're just really really happy and singing all is well. Because that's Rancho's shtick, I mean, because he thinks everything is good, but you just have to tell your heart this, because he thinks your heart is stupid.
Oh, this
so
movie
you have to
sounds
trick
so
your heart
lovely.
into being good. It's a very, very like lovely movie. Yeah, it's very down to earth and like just nice. It's a nice movie.
Do they have
So we
regular
first meet
toilets?
Yeah, they did. They sat in toilets with their pants down like normal people.
No, I didn't mean
and
do they
pooped.
sit at like do the toilets look normal or anything? Like I don't know.
No, yeah, no, totally normal.
Not like
yeah, no,
a
I was
Japanese
surprised by that
poop hole.
too. No,
That's what I was
yeah, there was
thinking,
no
was
poop holes.
Weird
Yeah,
Japanese
yeah.
shit.
I was kind of surprised too.
And
No,
did
it
they
was totally
wipe
normal.
front to back?
They didn't show. They didn't show the wiping.
Oh,
They were just pooping.
You
and
said
then
pooping
they
and
moved
cleaning
on.
themselves, so I was like, well, yeah, that's part of
They
cleaning
only had
themselves.
a very small part of the singing. So
Maybe they had
the camera
bidets.
panned away. They did shave normally too, so I think they're just like us.
They say shaved front to back.
Let's see. We meet Rancho for the first time when they're having their freshman initiation in their underwear, and Rancho is really shy and he runs away to his room. And so the seniors decide to like mess with him and try to get him out to join their homoeroticism. But instead, Rancho just like MacGyver's a spoon and some other shit. So when the seniors pee on the door, they get their dicks electrocuted, and the CGI looks like Weird Science, the movie from the 80s. They're just like, bzzz, and then they fall down.
Do you see like the shot go through like to their dick?
Oh, of course you do.
Yeah, it gives it a little. Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome.
It like shoots up this spoon thing, and then
this movie.
Oh no! It goes up his thigh or whatever, and then they do that thing. You don't see any penises. You see a lot of butts, yeah, because there's a lot of
poopy butts.
So now we're 50 minutes in, and it's basically I just kind of wish Rancho was here hanging out with us, because he's like the perfect best friend. He's good at everything.
Excuse me.
He sings and dances. His dad is rich, and he has the solution to every fucking problem you can imagine.
And
this movie should have been called... Huh?
I said we'd only understand like one sentence out of every 40 he speaks.
Mike wouldn't
Well, I was hoping he would speak English. He would speak English except for 2 or 3 occasional sentences in Indian. We'd be like, what are you talking about, Rancho?
Mike meets Rancho. He's going to learn the language, and we're going to be gone. He's going to have some sort of just Bollywood podcast with Rancho. You're going to lose him from 60 Ounce Cinema.
I mean, I think the guy who played him was like 40 years old. He just looks very young and in shape, I guess.
Yeah, that happened in my movie, too. Must be a thing.
So, I was thinking that like this movie should have been called Two Idiots and Rancho the God. Because that's who he is in this movie. He's just a god.
I'd like to see a movie called Rancho the God.
Oh, they're actually making a part 2, so it might be called that. There might be called that at the end.
Rancho the God would be a great rap name too.
Oh, it would be. So we're still in the past, and a student is about to fail because he can't finish his flying helicopter on time. So Rancho, because he's a perfect god, decides to finish it for him and gets to work. A
merciful god, a generous god.
Does he have 6 arms?
No, he doesn't. But he just has a really good work ethic.
Isn't that Shiva the Destroyer? Rancho's not the Destroyer.
Angus has his gods fucked up there. Unfortunately, the kid is very emo and kills himself.
But after Rancho makes him a helicopter, and he rewards Rancho by killing himself?
Makes him. He doesn't. He's like, no one tell him. We're gonna surprise him by finishing his project for him. But a few days pass, and so he's just like he's very like I can't. He just kills himself.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like they give him a helicopter and then he kills himself.
No,
he has like
the
same inappropriate response to gifts as you. Well, not the same, but like we give you a gift.
I've never killed myself yet.
What the fuck did you do this for? Oh, right.
They fly this helicopter to him that has a camera. And the camera goes and pans up his window, and it's just you see his feet first, and he's dangling on the fan, and then everyone's like, "Oh no!" And then they slow-mo run to his bedroom to try to save him. It's very like, it doesn't match the rest of the movie. It's just pretty happy. So instead of having like normal people emotion, Rancho blames the administration and society. For making like great students, like he basically says like, why do we have to follow these archaic rules such as good grades and making money? So he's very anti the system. Is Rancho.
Fight the
next
power,
we meet
Rancho.
the school's
Yeah,
that's right. He does. That's his thing.
Here
we meet the school's headmaster, and the headmaster of the school is like a less quirky Willy Wonka. And he has this like Velcro shirt, and he takes a nap for like 7.5 minutes every day. So he's just this little,
Gene Wilder Willy Wonka or Johnny Depp Willy Wonka?
Yeah, oh my God, he does look like Gene Wilder.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
cool.
He has this like really, he has this crazy mustache.
I like that he's surprised
really
by his own description.
Yeah, he's like, he looks like Willy Wonka. Oh, which Willy Wonka? Oh yeah, Gene Wilder.
He didn't know Gene Wilder was Willy Wonka. Yeah. He thought they were two separate men.
Like that guy from Blazing Saddles. At least 2 Richard Pryor movies.
Oh, see no evil.
Runaway Streak.
I don't know anymore.
Yeah, Mama, I was out after the first one, to be honest.
There's one more, I'm sure.
So that happens for a while. Like most perfect gods, Rancho becomes hated for his awesomeness, and the Willy Wonka guy tells the other two idiots' parents that like Rancho was a bad influence on him, and for some reason he sends the three friends away to like live with the other two's parents for like a couple days each. One of the friends has a family, just a normal family, wants him to succeed and stuff like that. But the other one has like a really, really poor family, and that when we hang out with them, the music changes and everything is black and white, and it's really awesome. And it's just like it always shows the mother like kneading dough with this with this roller and just bitching about money and how like Rancho is gonna ruin her son and they'll be poor forever and stuff like that. Really fucking with their heads.
Did you mean real dough or did you mean money?
Oh no, dough! Like she makes bread.
Oh, well then you said poor and stuff, so I thought you were just trying to be hip by saying she needs that dough.
The music changed and it went black and white. I immediately thought like we went from some like slick mainstream Bollywood movie to Eraserhead.
Oh wow! No, it didn't go that far.
This kid lives in Eraserhead.
Next, we meet Willy Wonka's incredibly hot daughter, I don't know if she's hot or it's just like I've been staring at Indian dudes for an hour and a half, and I still can't tell by the end of the film, but I'm going to go with she's kind of hot.
I think these Bollywood chicks are really hot. I think it's because they all have enormous eyes.
Oh, it's their eyes, facial expressions and stuff.
Yeah.
And Rancho undermines her soon-to-be marriage because he can't stand people who aren't exactly like him. And so he's all like, that dude doesn't love you, and you don't love him. And she's all like, yes, Rancho, you were so right. This is true. Just like that.
I kind of want to just go to chicks and say that, see what happens. That dude doesn't love
apparently
you.
If you're Rancho, it'll go very...
Well, how does he dress?
Very, very
Maybe I
well.
got to just dress like Rancho and be 40.
He dresses kind of like a rich kid trying to dress like a hippie, I guess would be the way to say it. He wears a lot of loose leaf shirts and stuff like that, loose fitting shirts.
So if I wore like my red shorts and one of my larger, looser pastel shirts, I just need to find the shoes?
He's got that attitude. You got to have the right attitude about it.
Okay. Yeah, well, I got a decade to work on it. I'm not 40 yet.
Well, no, remember we're still in college.
Right, but you said he's actually a 40-year-old.
Oh, yeah, so, that's true.
That's
true. So when you're 40, you have to act like a 20-year-old, and you can get away with all this.
Yeah, I think if a lot of things go wrong in my life, I could act like a 20-year-old at 40.
And they will.
Oh, no. Jeez, Angus.
I didn't mean it. God.
So I don't know why, but I'm
Words
getting
have
very
power.
bitter about this guy. But I think I'm getting bitter just because he's been perfect the whole movie, and that's kind of boring. And I think that's how like a lot of people in the movie feel about him. Like this guy just is good at everything. Next, the film kind of gets sexy, and by that I mean the hot chick starts singing while barefoot and getting splashed with water.
Oh, God damn it.
And Rancho falls in love with her, and I assume it's because of the barefoot thing. So then
That's
we
why
get to
you
their
relate
final
with him
exams.
so much.
Because he's perfect and a god. His fetish must be feet.
Mike has like some kind of god complex. He thinks he is.
I
am
don't know if there's a
Rancho.
god, but if there is a god, he's got to love feet.
It only makes sense to me. I agree with TJ here. So all their friends pass the exam, except Rancho, of course, because he comes first. So not only does he pass, he's number one, and his two friends barely pass. Then we go back to the present time where all three dudes, meaning the two idiots and the jerk student, they find Rancho, but it turns out Rancho was never Rancho. Rancho was some dude named Chopte or something like that, and Rancho was really the gardener's boy who loved going to school as real Rancho. So real Rancho let him and gave him money to go away afterwards.
What?
So he tells him this story.
What?
And,
Wait, so this actor that we've been with is playing a guy pretending to be another guy?
Yes. So he's actually like a gardener's poor son.
Well, is he actually 40? Like, that's the gardener's son? Or is he still supposed to be young?
Oh no, the actor.
No, not the actor. I'm talking about the character.
Oh no, the character is normal age. They're the Rancho and Chopte are the same age.
But he's
so
40.
Rancho, yeah.
Okay.
So what the fuck kind of
exactly.
twist is that? That's like if at the end of Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Ferris Bueller was like, "Yeah, but I'm not really Ferris Bueller." Like, what the fuck does it matter?
Well, no, it's not because they're trying to find them because they haven't seen him in a decade. So they go to his work, and it turns out like he's photoshopped Rancho. He's photoshopped himself into all of Rancho's like pictures and stuff.
How
like
long
that.
has this been going
and
on?
they're 10 years. I mean, all of school. Like this guy never went to school. He had this gardener's son go to school for him.
So these friends have been looking for their friend Rancho, and they think this guy is their friend.
Yeah, because absolutely.
Okay,
yes.
I'm starting to get it.
But that's fucking dumb. Like, dude, like if I didn't see you for 10 years, I would fucking know that it wasn't you 10 years later. We've had friends.
Right? No, they knew. They knew immediate. No. They knew immediately. They were like, "You're not Rancho," and then the guy's like, "Yes, I am. Get out of my house." And then they like get him to tell the story and stuff like that, and he tells the story.
So wait, this happened before all their adventures together, or they just adventured with him for a while and then like, "Hey, we knew all."
So when he graduated school, like they all went off to their own jobs and stuff like that. And when Rancho got back to Chopte's like, "All right, now go away," and he took his, he got his diploma and got jobs and stuff like that. I don't know about the name switches. Like, I don't know who's Chopte or who's Rancho.
All right, now
so
I'm
just
confused.
pretending.
So what the fuck?
Okay, so okay.
So are they really friends with Chopke or Rancho, or both?
See, I don't know whose name is who.
Like they're friends with Rancho.
Their friend is still missing,
but now they're friends with Chopke.
Their friend is still missing. They looked for Rancho. They found some dude Chopte who's pretending to be Rancho. And then he's like, "Okay, this is where your friend is actually at." And then they go look for their friend.
This is some Memento level fucking shit, dude.
See, I'm thinking like fucking M. Night Shyamalan. No wonder like he makes these.
No,
it's way simpler than that. It's
scratching
just
my
dude.
head. There's got to be like a Wikipedia just straighten all this shit out.
There is. Yeah, we can get back to it, but basically they try to find him. It turns out to be some other dude. And the other dude sends him to a quest to find real Rancho. So after all that shenanigans, well, I mean that's their quest.
RPG to find Rancho.
Well, they have to do a bunch of musical numbers and dance correctly.
So then we go back to school again. And one of my favorite scenes is like after they graduate, they have this really cool drunk scene where they're seniors and they're drinking, and Rancho is as great as always. And I realized a few minutes into it, because I've been having a few beers too, like the camera sways to show how drunk they are. So like I was like swaying with the camera, and it was a really cool effect I've never really seen before. Yeah, the whole scene made me like nostalgic and stuff.
Nostalgic for when you used to get blackout drunk?
No, for when I was like 17 and got happy drunk. No, before the blackout phases happened. So for the next hour, just the movie happens. It's just a comedy. It's hilarious. One of the friends tries to kill themselves.
Hilarious.
Yeah, any good comedy needs at least 2 suicides.
The hot chick's sister almost delivers a stillborn baby, but as you can guess, Rancho saves the day because he's perfect.
He saves a stillborn baby?
No, like the power goes out, and like she's getting like something that has the power is needed. So Rancho like makes the power grid happen again, and then she has electricity to get the baby out properly and all that kind of good stuff.
Wait, is it like a Frankenstein baby?
No, it's a normal baby.
Like electric had to have it born?
I don't know why it needed electricity. I'm not a doctor. The doctor said the baby's in trouble. We need electricity, and Rancho's like, I got this. So I'm just going.
Is this the real Rancho, or?
Yeah,
no, we're back. We're back in the past with real Rancho.
So now we're time traveling? Like this movie has just...
We're not time traveling.
What the fuck? I don't understand.
I mean, like the
this.
movie has like intertwined timelines.
No, yeah,
Oh my god!
It's
Rancho's
these kids
a Terminator.
in college. It's these kids in college, and then it's these kids 10 years later looking for Rancho. Because he's been missing. Like, they miss him, so they want to go find Rancho.
No, don't explain it again. Stop. Just keep going.
Okay, fine.
So then there's this gardener's son.
Named Chopte, that's right. All right, so...
This is such a mind-bending movie.
In the end, The two friends and the jerk student, 10 years later, they find Rancho, and the jerk student makes Rancho sign a paper that says Rancho sucks. And in fact, the jerk student is awesome, right? That was his whole point of finding Rancho again. But it turns out
they're both awesome.
And they're both awesome. But it turns out Rancho is actually a very super successful businessman, of course, that the jerk student needed to sign a business deal with. So he starts crying because, he made Rancho, sign this paper, and it showed what kind of bad person he is. So he starts crying, and the three reunited friends, frolic away and laugh. And that's the end of the movie. The end. I'm done.
Shit.
I'm going to need some time
Sorry.
to, think about that and, kind of, process what it's all
Yeah, I've never
about.
had that silence follow into my movie
what actually
before.
happened in this movie, the twisted identities, the overall
I'm going to try to
timeline.
explain it very. Let me try to explain it very quickly.
Absolutely not.
How's
I
that?
really would prefer to just hear Angus's movie now. I
Okay.
finished my
Can I-
beer in 20 minutes. It's too much.
I did too, and what happened was on that last one, I just chugged it because I just didn't understand what was going on. That's why I wasn't trying to burp to be obnoxious. I just had to down it because I'm so
Are you
confused.
really apologizing for a burp? This is episode 12, and I've never edited out a burp.
Yeah, but there were 3 in a row that were really
Yeah, they were kind
bad.
of annoying.
We had
so
a whole
I-
episode of me going... Actually, we had 3 episodes of me going...
Oh yeah, how is your throat and sinuses and asthma?
I'm
and stuff?
mucusy today, but that's because I didn't take allergy medication. But I was sick for the entire month of May.
Oh, boy.
Remember, I had thrush when we did episode 10, the Maniac one.
Yeah.
What a thrush.
Angus, what is your film about?
I'm pouring a beer. Hold on, I'm gonna need it.
Oh, gosh, I kind of want to go grab the
Okay.
beer.
All right.
So the movie that I chose was, well, what I was going to do was your original thing about finding the shortest movie possible. And I went to Netflix and did that. There was one that was only an hour and 34 minutes. I couldn't believe it.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was some kind of comedy about these college guys going back to college. So it sounded similar to Mike's movie, just half the time.
Did it
But
have Rancho in it?
I didn't do it.
No Rancho?
No.
I'm
So
proud of you.
what I did was I actually did a 2-hour and 18-minute movie,
Oh.
Okay.
which I didn't want to do, and I found it on YouTube. And the reason I picked this movie was I was just looking for Bollywood horror movies, because I was like, oh well, that would actually catch my attention. And I came across this one, and what I did with all of them was I just kind of skimmed through until I saw pictures of things, and I was like, okay, this one looks fun because of this person I stopped the picture on. So the movie I was watching had a guy who looked like Indian Tom Savini,
Holy shit.
and that's what made me choose the movie.
How old was this dude?
He was an old dude who looked like Indian Tom Savini.
Okay.
Fuck, I thought I took a picture because I was going to send it to you guys. We'll put it up on the website. But, yeah, so I chose this movie called Sowkarpettai. And the thing is, there's no, English thing for it. So I don't even know what the English translation is.
Did you have subtitles or
No, a lot of...
No.
No subtitles.
what? You said no.
All right, well, this is where it gets weird.
All right.
So, after seeing the Indian Tom Savini, I decided, no matter what, I have to watch this movie.
That's
Turns
fair.
out the movie didn't have subtitles, and the movie wasn't dubbed in any form.
I love
so
it. This
I-
makes sense for a horror movie. I like where this is going.
So I watched an entire film in Hindi, I don't know.
Hindi.
Hindi,
yeah.
yeah. Oh my
And
gosh.
I have no idea what was said throughout the entire
For
movie.
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours, no fucking clue, but I did my best to decipher what was going on.
I'm ready.
Oh my god.
All right.
Because the horror genre was the easiest genre to do this in, so I like it. This is great.
Alfred Hitchcock did say that you should make your movie as if it could be watched silently.
It worked. I was terrified.
That is epic.
All right,
Let's hear it.
The beginning of the movie starts with this old couple at their like really nice house, like kind of like a mansion, and like these guys pull up, and like it's. Let me just say, like, I'll get it out of the way right now. It is so fucking cheesy. It's not a serious horror movie.
So, how old is this movie?
Came out in 2016.
Oh, wow, okay.
And
So like low budget?
No, it's got a nice budget, but like I'm on the Wikipedia right now. It says Sowkarpettai, I don't know how to say it, is a Tamil comedy horror film directed by Vandavuviran, starring Sowkarpettai
Paul
and
Verhoeven.
Yakshmish Yara. And it says this film was released on 4th March 2016. It received mostly negative reviews from critics and audience.
Okay.
And then it gives the story, but I'll break down the story in my own way.
Primarily bad dialogue.
Yeah, so it's shot like a really bad, like, the way I thought of it in my head is like if Full Moon and Trauma like actually had a budget, that's what this was.
Okay. So like something
like that.
Like I lost my train of thought because I had these beers.
Suck.
Yeah.
Because it took the heart out of it by just adding money and telling that they actually had production value.
Like
anyways,
one of those
old couple
movies where Bruce Willis is on the cover and he turns up for like 5 minutes, like filmed from his home office.
Yes.
Okay.
That would be a good way. These young thugs come and threaten these old people for money. And they're like, and if you don't give us that money,
Honey.
we're going to take your daughter. And they're like, what? No, not our daughter. But one of the funny thing is, like, one of the thugs looked just like Aziz Ansari and talked exactly like him. So imagine Aziz Ansari being threatening. And it just wasn't at all. Like, I guess he threatened to put his fingers down her mouth, like, without her permission. Alright, and then it cuts to another...
Putting my fingers down people's mouths. Or licking their eyes.
Well, that makes... we cut to a scene of, like a really beautiful woman in a train, right? Like, I mean, fucking the hottest Indian person I've ever seen.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, like, I was amazed by this woman. And there's this guy just comically running after the train. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but, like, just fucking ridiculous. Like, basically where the, like if Leslie Nielsen was chasing a train. Like, in Wrongfully Accused, when he's running away from the train and his legs are just doing 360 flips, like, that's what it looked like. So the woman's on the train and she's being hit on by this guy. And this guy looks like John Lovitz from The Wedding Singer, but Indian. He's funny, even like, dressed like him.
Like, this ties into, like, actually my selling point, but it's hilarious how, like, there's so many of them that look almost as if they became stars over there because they looked like particular stars over here.
Exactly. They're just like brown versions of these people.
Yes,
and
it's
like
ridiculous. There's
fucking
so many.
identical.
They look like Hollywood stars. Like, not look like Hollywood stars, look like specific people.
I like that our stars include John Lovitz and Tom Savini. Like, that's their idea of fucking huge celebrity over there.
Tom Savini. He's got a mansion in Mumbai. So he's hitting on her, and then the
the guy gets on the train, the guy who was running after, and he starts kissing the girl, and there's like all these like zany sound effects, like
No,
like in the guy.
He's raping.
Did you say zombies?
No, it's just crazy sounds. Like
I thought we were into zombies.
No, so the wedding singer John Lovett's Indian man is just like all grumpy and stuff. Then it cuts to like this old witch woman who's got like a giant dot on her head, like not the regular one. Like I mean, it looks like the fucking Japanese flag on her head. And this is funny. Nobody will get this joke except TJ.
Oh, good. I love these.
But she looked like my neighbor Peepo wearing a wig.
She was fucking old.
Yeah. Peepo is this old Cuban man who lived next to me who is like just dark as shit, like 90 years old.
He's the
but
only
was like still
really
with it.
dark Cuban I've ever met, by the way.
Yeah, like I mean, darker than a black person. Dark, like it was.
But
crazy.
He doesn't say he's black. He's just Cuban.
No, he's Cuban.
Yeah,
not black at all.
Yeah,
like I don't think he likes black people.
But
I'm pretty sure he hates black people.
Like, the man just doesn't realize he's black. It's like it's fucking classic.
I just want to get this out there. My favorite thing about Peepo is he only ever knew 2 songs in English, and they were the
no, it's dude. I still get this shit stuck in my head. Like not even a month ago, it was going through my fucking head.
So these 2 songs, we would yell out one of them, and then he would finish it off with the other. So we would yell, "Baby, come back!" And we would just twist and shout. Yes.
I totally accidentally screeched into my mic for that one.
I did too.
Anyways,
I saw him chase a man with a machete once, but I'm not going to get into that.
He brought a machete to a gunfight.
He really did. Literally brought it.
That's the point where, like, okay, someone brings a knife to a gunfight, you're like, haha, you're stupid. Yeah, but you bring a machete to a gunfight, you're like, this guy's fucking crazy. You don't just bring a machete. If you don't mean business.
Fuck with that guy.
Yeah. Like, the man with the machete in a fucking bar facing down a guy with a gun has used that machete before.
Imagine seeing what you think is a black man with a machete yelling a twist and shout at you. And you run away, he's like, "Baby, come back!"
Baby, come back!
Fuck. This is only funny to me and you.
Yeah, oh man, we lost Mike even.
I'm here, I'm just...
You're wrapping your head, you're processing.
I'm processing, yeah.
This is like us trying to decipher your movie as you trying to figure out My Neighbor.
Like, why do they think this is funny? I hope TJ edits this shit out.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
It's staying, bro.
All right, I'll get over that. Old witch lady, she's outside the old people's house, and she's putting a curse on it. And then the young girl and her boyfriend from the train show up, and the parents just kind of leave. So the couple goes inside, they're in bed, the wind's blowing both of their hair beautifully. Even the man, like, he has just wonderful hair.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing over there. They had the best hair.
Oh, God, I was so jealous.
Their women have the best eyes,
wind.
and their men have the best hair. And chests.
So, apparently they have sex. The woman's in the shower. You don't see anything, which sucks, but she does get out, and you get a nice foot shot.
Nice.
Mike's back in the episode.
Back in. You got me in, baby.
You know who else had good feet was my neighbor.
You wouldn't believe they were divine.
All right, so like they get out, like she gets out of the shower and stuff, and they're walking, and like all of a sudden, like they're walking down this weird outside area, and then it just turns into a giant hand that grabs them, and then it turns into a road.
So wait, like the terrain comes up like a hand?
Yeah, and then it turns into like a road. Like it lets them go into a road, and then the first song starts, and the song was fun from what I remember, and they're like all dancing in the mountains, and there's like 10 men in suits behind them, and then like all of a sudden like it starts to get into like a funky techno type thing, and they're just dancing like in front of a green screen of the Grand Canyon. That's it. That's that musical sequence.
Yeah, these musics are gonna make me want to watch more Bollywood.
That's why I watch them, dude. Because like the thing is too, like all of the songs, like I mean, if they were in English, I would totally be listening to them regularly. Like they have really good music.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked mine a lot. I'll explain it when some of them come up. The parents are walking on the street, and then they just get hit by a bus.
After
and
the
then they
musical
fly
number?
like 20... Yeah, like right after. And they like fly through the air like 20 feet into another car. And then they fall off that car. And then the truck runs them over. And then blood just starts spraying out like gratuitously.
Like Japanese style? Like, psst.
Yeah, kind of like a splatter Japanese film. And it's just out of nowhere, and that's it. That's the end of it. An angry fashion gang shows up to threaten the couple. It's the ones from before. And then their boss gets out of the car, and it's Indian Tom Savini. So he's the guy who's, like, in charge of the gang and everything. So our main guy, he fights, like, the gang of 20 people. It's, like, kind of like a Power Rangers fight. And then all of a sudden, him and the girl just get beaten to shit with bats.
Oh,
like,
no.
till they're almost dead. And then, like, for some reason, there's a crane there that the guy called in, that Savini called in. And the crane just digs up, like, the most shallow grave you could ever imagine. Like, if you turned over, you'd be out of it. And
Tom Savini isn't very good at his job, huh?
No, but they hired a crane to make a 2-foot ditch to bury these guys in sand.
Maybe the crane operator was like, I don't want to be a part of this murder.
I'm sorry, but you guys probably mean an excavator. I have a 2-year-old son, so we talk about construction vehicles a lot.
Backhoe loader.
I mean, I don't mean to say that I'm an expert. It's just, I've researched the subject.
I hope it was a crane. Tom Savini's just really bad at his doing whatever he's doing.
I mean, that would explain why it couldn't dig a fucking ditch.
Okay, well, they're buried and now they're dead.
Good.
The old lady is now pissed off, the old witch lady, and now she's cursing Tom Savini. And there's just a bunch of Evil Dead camera shots where the camera just, like, rolls through the house and, you know, like that whole thing from Evil Dead. Then the house just kills a man. Like, it's swinging him against walls and shit. And then,
man.
Like, it... It shows, like, the X-ray of, like, his bones breaking, like Mortal Kombat X.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Where, like, it's just thrown against something, it's like, crack! The couple are ghosts now. And now we're introduced to 3 guys that we've never met before. Like, and this is pretty far in, like 45 minutes. And it's these 3 guys who are all trying to fuck this fat hooker. And, like, they're doing a terrible job of trying to fuck her. Like, they're just bumbling idiots.
Don't you just pay a hooker and they have sex with you?
Well,
right?
I guess not in
I
India.
mean,
I don't know.
this
You gotta
sounds
bumble
like
around
us
an
when we were
idiot.
18, 19. We would have messed up having sex with a hooker.
That's a good point.
Yeah. I'm surprised we didn't try that and fuck up. If we could go back, let's just try to fuck hookers bumblingly.
I mean, it would make a good story, yeah. Where, like, nothing actually comes of it. We just, like, goof off and don't know what to do, or...
I'm choking.
All right, yes!
All right.
It's not 16 ounce
No, I'm not gonna
if
puke.
Angus doesn't choke.
No, I'm good. The ghost lady is trying to hitchhike with the 3 guys. They're, like, fucking losing their minds over her because she's so hot.
Okay.
And the guys in my he would scare. I don't know what I wrote there.
Well, you want to borrow my notes? I have rock with an exclamation point. Just use that. Work from there.
Probably be the same.
Yeah,
All right,
whatever.
somebody's trying to scare. Now there's an evil ghost song playing.
Is it like?
See, I was waiting for. I knew this was happening.
Yeah, and the couple's ghosts are like dancing and stuff, and they they keep turning into like different zombies and shit.
This sounds awesome.
But it's funny, their background dancers are all wearing like skeleton masks and shit. But then like two of them are wearing the actual like licensed Scream mask from the movie Scream. And then, like, the woman, like, the guy's dance is pretty cool and original, but the woman's dance, like, she just completely rips off Thriller the entire time. She's doing the exact Thriller dance. The ghosts are now just harassing people and beating them up. And yeah,
Are
they're
they like
just beating
are they
up.
angry for being dead or something? Or
Yeah, they're trying to get revenge, I guess.
Okay.
They're
being
Yeah.
killed.
schoolyard bully ghosts.
Kinda, like, it's, like, really silly the way they're throwing people in the walls, like, whoa! And, like, zany sound
They're like a
effects
frighteners
again.
auntie.
Yeah,
Okay.
but they do actually kill people, because I guess they killed Tom Savini's son, and then he's all mad. And then there's this Indian guy who looks like Conan the Barbarian if he didn't have really any muscle tone. I
Okay.
don't know, that's the way I saw him. And he shows up and starts fucking shit up to a song sounding like an Indian Jonathan Davis doing vocals.
Oh my god. I gotta hear that.
It's pretty fucking great. And now there's Indian Mark Maron talking to Tom Savini. And there's lots of fake crying. Those three guys go back to the house, and the ghosts are fucking with them. And this part I'm going to save for the end.
Alright.
Fuck, dude, I am choking on my own acid.
I thought you were gonna say choking on my own ass. I was like, alright.
I was excited. I was like,
It
whoa.
could be a different kind of
I don't know how
episode
that's-
for the next
How is
hour.
that possible?
Yeah, I don't know.
Alright,
Use your
the
imagination.
Indian Conan... Indian Conan is now dancing in a graveyard with a bunch of tribal guys and hot girls, and parts of his song sound like a Dropkick Murphys drinking song.
Your movie's all over the place. I love it.
It makes no fucking sense, but it literally has a it's the exact fucking song in parts. Now the three guys, the bumbling guys, are going to the house to exorcise the fucking ghosts out, and for some reason they're making putty patrol noises the entire time. They're just like, woo, woo. And that didn't work, so now they're getting drunk with the ghosts. The ghosts challenge them to a drinking game. And they're fucked up. And the ghost girl starts telling her story to the three guys about how the two of them met when they were younger. And the guy, when he's younger, looks like an Indian Scott Baio.
Oh my god. I hope this, like, the actual credits, like, if you could read them in English, say that Indian Scott Baio, Indian John Lovitz, Indian Tom Savini.
They're all pretty insulting, too. None of those are people you want to look like, really.
Indian Bruce Valanche. Indian Gary Busey.
Oh, no. Dude, just imagine an Indian Gary Busey. That's fucking
They
frightening.
would be, like, twice as intense, I think. Like, not as, half as crazy, but twice as intense. You know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't be as
I
many
think the
screws
eyes would
loose.
look crazy.
Yeah, exactly. But he'd be more, like, apt to talk to you and be in your face.
Oh, God. So, let's just drink more. So, it's the flashback of her telling them the story. And there's some, like, dude that's trying to fuck her.
The ghost?
And Well, she's not a ghost. She's telling the story of when she was younger.
Oh my god, we have overlaying timelines again. I've had too much to drink for that.
All right, this isn't as confusing. She's just telling the story. There's some guy trying to fuck her.
It's French.
And then, he gets caught, and then, he gets caned by the father.
Yeah!
Really, really hard, but he's, just taking it. And then when he's done, the rapist guy, just whispers in her ear, something scary. And then just all of a sudden,
you don't know what he says. That's right.
Yeah, I thought he just said something scary.
Yeah, I was like, something scary.
That actually would be terrifying. If somebody tried to rape you and then they got beat and they just said something scary.
Oh my god!
And
I
left.
Especially if it was an Indian.
I'm sweating.
Okay, so she tells the story, blah, blah, blah. The ghosts get angry now that they told the story and just scare the guy. The three guys. So the three guys just run out because they're scared now. They tell Tom Savini they quit. Conan comes by and drop kicks Savini and his boys. And the funny thing about the Conan guy is he lives in the woods, but he's 20 feet away from a parking lot.
People like that
But he's
exist.
just a bum.
Yeah. That's normal.
No, but it's in the middle of the woods, and then just all of a sudden you pan to the left and there's a parking lot.
That's where most
There's
movies
a lot
are
of
filmed.
Indians over there, so.
Rambo First Blood was actually filmed 3 feet away from a parking lot.
Well, fucking going back to my movie, Combat Shock, it was behind a mall.
I'd like to forget that movie.
I like to forget that episode.
Oh, but it exists still. That's a shame.
Yeah, I know. I'm sad. It's not a good one.
That was pre-episode
Skip it,
7
new
when
listeners.
we feel like we hit our stride. Until everyone start on episode 7.
I was going to say, I think we lost it again.
Yeah.
My favorite was the first one, so I'm good.
It's semen.
All right.
Let's not do this. Right?
I'm done. The guy starts fighting himself, and he's fucking breathing fire.
The guy who just drop kicked everyone?
Yeah, the Conan guy is fighting himself as another being, and he's got fire. Then he goes to the demon house to fight them, and now he's trying to rape the ghost demon lady. And the old witch, she sets herself on fire to turn the Conan guy into bats and fly away from her.
So this movie has an immolation?
Yeah.
Is it a
and
good
she's
one?
just on fire while the guy turns into bats so he can go fight the ghost girl's boyfriend who's also a ghost. And then the demon guy just yells at a statue for 5 minutes. And then he gets superpowers.
What the fuck?
He beats up the other guy video game style. Then Conan resurrects ninja zombies. Or no, they weren't ninja zombies. No. They weren't ninja zombies. They were ninja mummies.
Oh.
They were wrapped up and everything.
Okay.
I kind of like that.
It was kind of cool.
Yeah,
and then,
I've never heard of that before.
Ninja mummies, yeah, it's pretty unique.
Yeah.
The main guy, he beats up Conan and he's dead. And now the credits are rolling. And
Cool.
Tom Savini and all his kids are ghosts. And then those 3 dudes are talking to him. I don't know what they're saying.
That was quite
That's
an
the
experience.
end of my movie. I don't know what happened in any of
Your
it.
movie was worth the ninjas mummies.
Ninja mummies are pretty great.
I feel like I should buy you a drink because you watched this whole thing without subtitles too. That's amazing.
I was I could have done something else, but after seeing the Tom Savini guy, I was like, all right, there's no way I'm not.
Plus, you got to
about
see
him.
Scott Baio.
surprised
You got
you-
to
I
see
mean,
all these other guys.
I'm surprised
too.
you didn't try to legally find a way to do it with subtitles.
I did.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so it's my turn, and I gotta say I'm looking at our time here, and You know, when I picked Bollywood, I didn't realize like I was signing us up for our longest episode ever. As we'd all be talking about.
How could you not?
I don't know. I imagined we'd streamline, or I don't know. I didn't think at all. Obviously.
You fucking made the joke about like, oh, good luck picking the shortest one and all that shit. Like,
yeah, and then
you knew this was gonna happen.
And then I get into my notes and I start page 4 and I'm like, oh shit, what have I done?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
4 pages? Holy shit.
Yeah.
I trimmed to 2 by talking about the last hour in 3 sentences.
Dude, I was selective even, and I still got 4 pages. So let me not...
Yeah, a lot of shit happens in these movies.
Let me not go on about it, I guess.
I skipped through 20 minutes of my movie, and I still
maybe I'll skip. I'm the one who's going last, so it's always the person who goes last who has to, like, cut and speed up. So I'll see my notes and I'll start speeding up if we're drowning here.
You're fine. We got plenty of time.
Whatever. It's Bollywood. It's fun.
Exactly.
Right. So I watched. Okay. Well, let me tell a quick story because even though we're an hour and fucking 80 minutes in, so first of all, I was like, well, there's a movie I really wanted to watch. It was called Robot, which is a crazy, awesome sci-fi action movie, which I have in my collection and has been on Netflix.
Why wouldn't you say 2 hours and 20 minutes?
Just because, dude, I'm drunk. I'm drunker than I've ever been on an episode.
You said an hour and 80 minutes.
So,
what the fuck was that?
It was just a number, man. It's just a number. I'm not good with math.
I don't know why it took me so long, but it was bugging me, and I was like, I gotta get this out.
So Robot was in my collection, but then I was like, well, that's kind of cheating. I shouldn't watch a movie I've already seen, especially when I picked Bollywood, and that's kind of like, I know Angus was pissed off about it. I was like, so let me restrict myself.
Pissed off.
Let me restrict myself to what's on Netflix. And so I was browsing. My first one I came across was called Rocky Handsome. I was like, that's an awesome title.
I saw that.
Yeah. But then I
didn't watch it, but I saw it
was
on
only
there.
at the 2 hour mark. So that first off, I was like, well, that's shorter for Bollywood. So I was like, that's kind of unfair. And then I saw that it was a remake of a Korean movie. It's a remake of The Man from Nowhere, which means I'm definitely going to be watching Rocky Handsome because I love The Man from Nowhere. But I had to roll it out. So I landed on one that was actually previously on my Netflix watch list called Holiday. A Soldier is Never Off Duty. Okay, so it starts out, we have kind of like a pop-up book for the opening titles with some cool rock. So we first meet our hero, Virat. He's kind of brawling out with his buds, fighting for money, but they're all friends here. And then
Are they sprawling?
Yeah, they're sprawling, man. They're sprawling and brawling. they're just getting in it. And they have such cheap comedy. Like, so, you know, he's fighting and then it's over, but he doesn't see his superior behind him, and he's like, you know, mouthing off, and then he slams his foot down when he does the salute, when he finally sees his superior, and he gets mud all over his captain. So that's the kind of comedy we're in for in this movie. So he gets home, and his dad is setting him up with a bride. So they kind of have like not quite arranged marriage. It's kind of like they're still arranging for couples to meet with the intention of marriage, but not saying like, here's your wife, go get her. You know what I mean?
So it's kind of like their version of Tinder of marriage? like
they're matchmakers. Like they're just interfering matchmakers with the parents, basically.
Okay, Cupid.
Yeah, the parents are all playing OK Cupid with their children. So
all right,
he
that's
goes
pretty
and
cool.
meets her. They end up hating each other, and as he's leaving, he's talking to his sister, and he's like, well, her hair was too long. She's going to take too long fixing her hair because that plait was 6 inches too long. That means another 45 minutes of getting ready when it's time to leave.
He's not wrong.
Right?
Fuck it.
But it turns out, and then you see a scene of her with her parents, and she's like yelling at them, I knew this was wrong, and she's cutting off that plate. So basically everything that she did herself up to be this nice, shy, like super traditional Indian girl, but she's not. That's just what her parents wanted her to appear as because they thought that would get her a husband easier. So basically all the things that he wants out of a girl, she is, and all the things he doesn't want, she isn't, as he has this conversation
I just
with his
imagine,
sister.
like, when she's like showing her real self, like a Joan Jett song is playing?
Yes, sort of. Like Indian version Joan Jett. Yeah, absolutely. Like she.
Well, yeah, no, not the real one.
You have that
wanted, like, a
spot
dark
on.
Joan
Like
Jett.
this movie pulls no punches in being totally cliche. So she like undoes all her traditional like Indian garb and puts on like a mini skirt and all that, and goes out looking like an American. So after this little meeting, Virat goes and meets. So I don't. You know what? I've never actually heard his name pronounced aloud, but so I don't know if you say the G or not in Jolo Trulio or Truglio.
That's a great name.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Do you say the G or no?
What are you talking about?
I don't know.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
I've always assumed it was silent, almost like, like a J is an H in Spanish, like Julio, not Julio. So I've always said, in my head said Jolo Trulio.
Yeah, I guess that's how I've said it.
But
too.
he's not. He could be Truglio. See, this
Do
is
we wanna,
shitty. I
like,
should have.
say who he is?
I totally forgot to look up how to pronounce his name. So I guess I have to call him Joe Low.
Should we say who that guy is? Because we can't pronounce his name.
What do you mean?
It's the one dude, right? From Reno 911 and shit.
He's in Brooklyn Nine-Nine currently. He's in a lot of stuff. He pops up everywhere.
Well, he was in Reno. He was in Superbad. He was the guy who hit him with the car.
Yes, he was in Superbad.
Yeah, like, because Mike's not saying anything, so I don't know
what's
if
our
he knows who we're
consensus? Am I
talking
going to
about.
say Trulio or Truglio, even if I'm wrong for the rest of the
Trulio.
episode? Trulio, okay. Okay, so Virat meets his cop buddy, who's Bollywood Jolo Trulio. No, seriously, you become a star in Bollywood by looking like someone in Hollywood, and this guy is Jolo Trulio.
No, I just finally realized why we were talking about that, and I was like, oh, right, the guy looks like that guy.
Yeah,
okay,
so
when I said who he is at first, and then TJ got confused, I'm like, wait, was this guy really in the movie? Like,
yeah, that's what got
I
me
was
too.
like,
I'm
wait, am I
Bollywood
just
version.
fucked up?
The Bollywood
Okay.
version. So Virat and Jolo Trulio, Bollywood Jolo Trulio, they go to this boxing.
Oh, we're gonna get so many people angry that we're getting his name
If it's
wrong.
Truglio?
And it's gonna be him. He's the
or
only one listening.
Truglio, yeah. So they
Truglio.
they go to a boxing match, and that's where the girl, her name is Saiba. She's actually fighting in the boxing match. So then, like, Virat is like, oh, she's a boxer. So he's like, okay, well, she's the type of girl I want. And she's like kind of upset that he's there because he just rejected her. So she keeps staring at him and she keeps getting hit. And then she just knocks the other person out with a 1 KO punch just like that. And then we go into the musical number one. So what happens is basically like she's playing rugby and he comes in spinning on a Segway. And the whole musical number is basically her doing like athletic shit and him admiring her. And she's like annoyed to be admired. Like she's doing judo and wrestling. She's doing her own sprawling and he admires her when she's on her belly. And the lyrics are... The lyrics have a good line. I'm the shore where your desires gather. And I also wrote in my notes that I was jealous of his style. I'm man enough to admit that like this guy had good style.
I hope you imitate him from now on.
Yeah, he had like these nice like.
I would love a Hindi you.
I think I could because he had these like I don't know. He had long sleeves and shorts, but he had like nice fitted shirts that were long sleeves and they looked really comfy. Kind of like that preppy kind of like I don't know, not sweater, but you know what I mean, like long sleeve. Yeah, and so anyway, she's like playing hard to get with him, and then the musical number ends, and there's this scene where he's on a motorcycle with Bollywood Jolo Trulio, and she's in the back of a taxi cab, like a open air, like a rickshaw kind of taxi cab. And he sees her in the mirror, notices her, and she sees that he's looking at her in the mirror, and he starts like kissing on the mirror, like he would kiss his lips and then put the kiss on the mirror where her face was. He's like, mwah, 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 like he was kissing her, and
dangerous.
And the music track was like all light and fanciful, and there was this like woo 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 vocals repeating woo woo woo. So I
thought they saw juggalos. Whoop 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 whoop.
So she gets out and like yells at him like, "Don't kiss that mirror!" And he's like, "Well, it's my mirror. I can kiss it if I want." And she's like, "Well, you're pretending to kiss me." And she breaks the mirror and steals the bike keys. So Bollywood Jolo Trulio and Virat have to take the bus. And then this guy complains that he got his wallet stolen. So they immediately stop and they decide, well, we're going to illegally search everyone on the bus. Maybe it's legal in India, but I was like, this is fucking insane. They're just searching everyone on the bus for the stolen wallet. And this one guy gets real jittery. And eventually he runs off. Like they get the wallet, but this other guy's run off. So Virat chases him. And as he's chasing him, the bus explodes, and like you see like
what?
Kids dying. You see like a family in a car throw their hands up, and then like CGI flames engulf them.
Jesus Christ.
So both of your movies hinted that Bollywood movies have a problem with tone. Mine like mine is like the pinnacle example. So yeah, we go from this, and it was a really funny scene with the motorcycle and the kiss in the mirror, and then yeah, families burning alive in their cars. So Virat catches the bomber. And then they have like the whole news, you know, the media circus is going on. And Bollywood Jolo Trulio is really bummed out because he wants credit for catching the terrorists and to be interviewed on the news. He doesn't seem too concerned about all the families burning alive, just that he's not getting the credit for catching this guy.
I get it.
So then that night...
That seems like his character.
Yeah.
Classic Joe Trulio.
So then it goes to that night, and Virat's coming home, and Bollywood Jolo Trulio is there, and he has a bunch of guards at his house because the terrorist escaped that night from the hospital. But come to find out that he did escape, but Virat secretly captured him again and snuck him into his own house. And he's keeping him in his room. Yeah. So then Virat goes and has this like conversation. He sits the terrorist down, ties him up, and basically he's like, "I'm going to question you." And then he cuts off his pinky. Oh. And he's like, "Well, now you know I will cut off your fingers, so you're going to answer my questions." So before he even asks him a question, he just cuts off his finger. So from that, the terrorist rats out the cop that helped him escape. And Virat, he says he's in the Defense Intelligence Agency, I guess, so he's like part of their CIA, but working in the regular army. That's a burp. So he goes to the cop. He gets the cop like outside of his house, and they're talking at a table. And he tells this cop, tells the cop a story about a soldier who gets captured, and they torture him and gouge out his eyes and put a beer bottle up his butt and break the beer bottle in his ass. And then the end result, basically, he tells this cop, either he gives him two guns. He's like, "This is my gun, and this is an unregistered gun. If you kill yourself with your unregistered gun, it's just a cop committing suicide. If I kill you with my gun, I will tell everyone all about you helping a terrorist escape, and your kids will become beggars on the street corner, and your wife will become a whore." So the cop kills himself, and Virat like takes a photo of his dead body.
This is so badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's a fucking gangster.
Yeah. I love this.
So then he goes back to his room, and he's like there with the terrorists, and he's trying to figure things out, and he looks through like the terrorist effects, and he has this thing that has a secret compartment which has a map on it, and he basically, or not a map, it has a when he puts it under UV light, it has dots, and he superimposes those dots over a map. So he finds these locations where bombs are going to go off. There's 12 locations, right? So then Jolo Trulio, like later on, Bollywood Jolo Trulio and Virat having a conversation. Cholo. And Virat basically just tells him straight up, "I'm a murderer." And then Saiba shows up again. And
I can't tell if this guy's a bad guy or not. I don't know if I'm supposed to be rooting for him.
Right? So part of my fascination with watching this movie, I'll kind of spoil it now, was that whenever he's with the girl, it's almost like a horror movie. Kind of like, oh, she wants, to be with him, and he's with her, but he's a fucking murderer. Like, it was like one of those horror movies, except they're playing it as a romantic comedy. So Saiba shows up. She asked,
It's like if 10 Things About You, if the Prince guy was like a CIA agent or
yeah, it's like Zero Dark 30 meets a Katherine Heigl movie.
That's great.
So Saiba asks to marry Virat, and he says, "No, I'm not going to marry you because you don't smoke." And then it like goes back and forth, like, "Oh, well, I drink." It's like, "Oh, I don't like drinking," and then he's joking, but she says, "Well, I told someone else I would marry them." So you're going to have to change their mind. So they go to where she's supposed to meet this guy who's now proposed to her, and it's Virat's captain, the one he got mud on. And then they had this hilarious little scene in the cafe where he's just like, "Oh no," and then we go back to the terrorist. He keeps him drugged and in his closet, so he's like, "I'm giving him these drugs that will knock him out for a couple hours." And Bollywood Jolo Trulio's there, and he's not cool with it at all. But then
like, is he just finding out, or?
Yeah, he's just finding out that Virat has captured this terrorist, and he's keeping him in his closet, and he has these drugs that'll wear off in 2 hours. But the idea is he's setting him up.
Remind me why the terrorist is in his closet again?
Because he has nowhere else to keep him. Like, in his closet, in his room at his house.
But, like, he's getting information from him and shit, right?
Well, he did. Now he's setting it up so basically the terrorists will go free and they'll follow where he goes. But first, Virat has to go to a wedding and get his boys. So they're at a wedding, and like he's with there's 12 of them, Virat and 11 other guys, and they're like his squad mates. And basically, they have no idea what's going on. But Virat's like, "Hey, want to play a game?" And they're like, "Okay." And it's like, when we win.
So now he's Jigsaw?
Yeah, when we win, I'll throw us a party. And they're like, "Okay." And they all pile on, and he's like, "Okay, this guy is going to leave my house. And now he's going to meet someone, and we're going to basically, follow everyone that he meets and keep following him." So
and he doesn't tell her that guy's a terrorist?
Nope.
This guy's a shitty friend.
Nope. He just says follow him, and then whenever he meets someone
off this guy's bandwagon. I'm done with him.
Yeah, he's like one person.
That is kind of shitty.
One person stay on one guy, and then the rest follow whoever he comes until basically you have Virat and his 11 buddies, so 12 of them, following 12 individual terrorists. So one for one. They have a 1 for 1 in the end.
That's a lot of fucking terrorists.
Yeah. Well, he had 12 spots on the map, so he knew he needed 11 buddies. So you have the 12 for 12. And also they're really obvious in the beginning because you have like one guy and 12 dudes behind him 8 feet away. They didn't like try to make him look stealthy at all. And they're wearing suits because they just came from a wedding. So they're all following 1 for 1, and then Virat has them all on like a group chat, and he says, "Okay, well, I gave each of you a bag. Now open up the bag." And they're like, they have guns. They're like, "What the fuck, Virat? You gave us guns." And he's like, "Well, these guys are terrorists about to plant bombs, so we need to send a message. Now all of you shoot them in the head at the same time. 3, 2, 1. And then they all just shoot them wherever they are. Like, one guy's in a movie theater, one guy's in a mall, one guy's just out in the open streets. One guy's like has to catch a bus to shoot the guy in the head on the bus. One guy shoots a dude in the head on a boat and then jumps off the boat.
Dude, you guys are my best friends, but if one of you told me to do this, I would second guess it like a lot. Like, should I really be shooting this person in the head?
Because that bag turned out, and we were at a wedding. We left a wedding to go shoot a guy in the head.
I don't know if I could follow through, man.
Yeah, I mean, if you shot a guy in the head and then called and said, "Hey, I need help cleaning up," that's fine. But I'm not shooting a guy at the mall or like Wet n Wild or something.
Or on a boat tour.
Yeah, the glass bottom boat. I mean, it'd probably be different if we were in the army. So Virat tells Bollywood Jolo Trulio what he did, and Bollywood Jolo Trulio is not cool with it. One of these 12 guys that was killed was the main bad guy's brother, so he decides he's going to come after Virat, which was what Virat was hoping for after all. And then we have an extended sequence of like newscasts and stuff, which is basically like exposition on what sleeper cells are, and basically just fear mongering. Like, this movie was just like fear-mongering about sleeper cells and how they could be anywhere.
Well, they could.
So, yeah, exactly. So Virat's hanging out.
They're not wrong.
And then Saiba calls. So now it's a comedy again. So they meet up with Saiba and Virat and his captain again. And the captain is like, well, there was this girl that I proposed to, but I said no because I wanted to be with Saiba. But then that girl attempted suicide. So I guess that's a Bollywood thing. Like, I always have to have an attempted suicide in there. So he decides he's going to go back with the suicide girl.
Ooh, I love suicide girls.
So now, yeah. So now Saiba and Virat are going to get married. And we have musical number 2, which is short but sweet. It's in a club. It kind of has like a Tron/Lady Gaga vibe to it. It's sort of a cover remix of Blame the Night or Blame It on the Night. They're dancing in a club, and near the end there's glitter luchador masks. Like, the background dancers have glittery luchador masks. So that was okay.
I want one of those so bad.
I love luchador masks.
We should all wear luchador masks for the show.
Dude, we gotta have a luchador theme.
Wait, we're gonna wear luchador
somehow.
masks for our podcast.
Yeah.
That's okay. Let's do it.
We'll eventually get fucking cameras on
I'm
us.
wearing
We've
one
been
right
talking
now.
about
I'm
it.
putting mine on now.
Me too.
Yeah, Mike doesn't have one. I know he doesn't. Even if he says he does, he's not wearing one.
I have 3 various masks, just no luchador masks, unfortunately.
Mike seems like the only one who would actually like participate in luchador.
I would wear a luchador mask.
No, I mean like he actually goes out and does it at night.
Oh yeah.
And he doesn't tell us.
I might go sprawling at night.
I just start wearing luchador masks every time I go to the gym, ride my bicycle.
Could they kick you out for that?
Yeah, can you wear a luchador mask?
Whenever I'm there, it's literally just me and like 4 other guys.
Yeah, but
so
you
they would
go
be
at
probably
3
weirded
a.m.,
out.
so it'd be really unsettling for the other people there. Like,
And they're all
seriously.
Spanish, so they'd be. I don't know. Maybe they'd be into it.
you know, like 7 p.m., dude in a luchador mask. Okay. 3 a.m., dude in a luchador mask. Oh, fuck.
He's robbing you for your fucking protein bars.
Doing low weight squats.
I'm just imagining you running like La Barca with a goddamn chair.
Do I have to wear the whole leotard then?
Yes, absolutely you do.
This is start turning me into dressing up like La Parca at the gym.
I'm picturing Mike now, like climbing up a ladder to jump into the air for a box of protein bars.
My exercise would be me on like the treadmill with like a chair in my hand, running after a guy.
So
It's how I keep my motivation.
your running would be just like WCW versus NWO Revenge when he's running with the chair but on a goddamn treadmill.
So at the end of this musical number, Saiba says to Virat, "It's our first date, so you know the rules. You have to give your boyfriend whatever he asked for." Like, I didn't know.
God, I'm moving to India.
That's a cool rule. So Virat starts to go to kiss her, but then he's like, "Wait, the terrorists are gonna find me and my buddies because we wore suits, and I guess that's a big thing. Like, they don't wear suits in India, so he's like, they're gonna know we came from a wedding, and so he doesn't kiss her because he's got to go run off and do terrorist stuff or anti-terrorist stuff."
He's
Well,
doing
depends who you know.
So the terrorists, narrow it down to this wedding, and the groom was named William Martin Joel. I was like, that's okay.
Good Indian name.
Exactly. So they get the address from the lady at the church, and
That's like when Apu had his fake name with his fake ID on The Simpsons.
so you're saying this holiday movie, Simpsons did it. So they go to Joel's house. They meet his dad, and Joel's dad is showing them all the wedding photos. And the terrorist guy is just like, Like, he's, like, growling and being super fucking suspicious. Like, he shows him a photo and he's like... like, Joel's dad should have been like, this doesn't seem to be above board. But he doesn't. So eventually Joel's...
What kind of terrorists are these?
Like 1990s movie terrorists. Totally cliche.
So Russian?
Oh, no. They're still Indian people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's even a
thought it
point.
was the Soviets.
There's even a point during those newscasts. They're like, "Oh, there are any nation, any religion. They avoid targeting any groups that are traditionally associated with terrorists by basically saying anybody could be a terrorist if they're disgruntled enough."
Okay.
Yeah. So then
That's how it works.
Joel's brother Noel comes in, and he sits down and has a chat. And he immediately is like, well, you guys didn't fucking serve with my brother. You're lying. And so the terrorist just pops Noel in the head. And then they pop Joel's dad in the head. And then Joel's mother or grandmother, who's in a wheelchair, they pop her in the head too. And then the last thing in the scene, you see like the dead bodies and the dead lady in the wheelchair.
I like that you explained that like Forrest Gump. And then they popped her too.
And she was dead. And then we have this scene of Virat just hanging out by his motorcycle, like at the docks, while saxophone jazz plays. And so the next day, that was it, just Virat and jazz. The next day, the terrorists start kidnapping girls, and they're kidnapping girls of like basically guys who were at the wedding because they're trying to narrow down which squad, because they know like each of these guys was heads of squads, so they're trying to narrow down whose squad did it. So a bunch of girls get picked up, and then there's this
Wait, I'm just imagining it's Terror Squad, like Big Pun's group from the 90s.
what?
They're in India right now, just taking
Mike
down little
gets it.
girls.
Wow. People just from full circle. Now I'm left out.
Yeah, you're not into La Parka and old 90s
Terror Squad.
Cruise? Terror Squad.
Well, this at least sounds like something a listener might understand.
Probably not.
Wait. I think they'd cast the La Parka before the Terror Squad. We'll make a poll. Later. All right, go on.
So Virat and
sorry.
Bollywood Jolo Truly are hanging out, and they know these girls are trying to get picked up. And Virat's like, "Oh, I have a special weapon." And then there's like this like, bum, 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 like fanfare, and he gets a golden retriever. So he has this just beautiful, lovely, cuddable dog. And so then what happens is basically Virat calls his sister, and basically he sets up his sister. He's like, "Oh, take your friend's scooter and just drive to me where I'm at the docks." But her friend is one of the ones that's targeted for kidnapping, he knows. So he's set up his sister to be kidnapped so that when she's there, she'll point out Virat to the terrorists, and the terrorists will know to come after Virat, because his whole plan is like, I can't find the terrorists, so he has to come to me. So he sends his sister off to potentially get killed just so the terrorist knows where to find him.
Why is he making this like his business?
Virat?
Yeah, like putting his own
He's
family
just
in
like,
danger.
he just came home on holiday and a bus blew up, so he's pissed off.
But still, like, fuck.
So
Don't get them involved, you asshole.
It's kind of I know he's kind of like Die Hard guy. You know, who else is gonna do it? I'm with.
But
I'm kinda
Die
with him.
Hard went alone. Like, he didn't fucking bring everybody in his life into it until, like,
yeah,
the fifth one.
no, Virat's totally
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
there's. I'll just come out with it now. There's a scene later in the movie where Virat is basically like, "Oh, these terrorists are willing to risk their lives and commit suicide. We should be too. Every one of us, man, woman, and child, to fight terrorism should be willing to sacrifice our lives to stop them." So Virat...
Did he tell the people he involved in this?
Virat is basically a terrorist himself, but just on the good guy's side?
Oh, the
How
good
did the
terrorists.
Indians feel about this movie? How did they view
Oh,
this
this
guy?
thing was a hit over there. And it's like got
Alright.
really good ratings. Yeah, I Wikipedia'd that. I was like, this must have been just a bomb. And like, nope, this is one of their big hits. So
I like that you said a bomb.
So Virat uses the golden retriever to find his way to the where the terrorists are holding all the girls, and then he kills to new metal. You see him slit some throats, blood sprays out. He gets a guy comes at him with a butterfly knife, and he gets the butterfly knife and just fucking repeatedly stabs him to fucking death, and stabs another dude to death.
Was it real new metal?
For a minute, not like anything you would know, but no, like soundtrack new metal.
Well, it was kind of funny because I ignored it at first because you said he kills to new metal, and I thought that was a guy's name.
Kills to new metal.
To new metal.
So at the end of this, he kills all the terrorists but one, who he of course puts back in his closet or his wardrobe. It's a wardrobe actually. And then here comes Saiba, so we know it's going to be a comedy. But the problem is Saiba's like climbing up the because his room is on an upper floor, so she's climbing up the side of his house to come up to his window. But he's got the terrorist there, and he's like the terrorist is in the wardrobe, but he's getting out his torture gear. And then as he's getting his torture gear ready, he turns and he's got his finger severing shears ready, and whoops, they're right in Saiba's face. And then, they start talking and having a love scene, and then he's about to bang her against that wardrobe door where the terrorist is stashed. And whoops, someone knocks at the door. So he has to hilariously hide Saiba in the other side of the wardrobe as the fucking terrorist who is about to mutilate and torture for information. And it's Bollywood Jolo Trulio. And he's come in to basically say again to Virat, I'm not cool with this. And then, Saiba comes out and he's like, well, I have Saiba here. And then Virat and Saiba now have musical number 3, and they're dancing and singing in a desert. There's not much to say about this musical number except that she wears a really beautiful dress. It's got like silver and gold sequins on the top with her belly showing, and it's just all black and really flowy on the bottom. I thought at least Mike might appreciate a description of a dress.
I like dresses, yeah.
So they had this really nicely, this probably the pinnacle love song of the movie where they really express their love for each other. And then we see the
blowing the shit out of people.
I hope it's rats loving you's a dirty
desert. Virat is dressed really well in this one. And like I said, they express their love for them, and then the song ends, and then we immediately see in a ditch the body of that terrorist that Virat mutilated and killed for information. Oh, nobody's laughing, but I thought that was great. The transition was just like...
I'm tired of this terrorist. I want this terrorist to die. I hope he dies at the end.
No, he did die. The transition. They went from love song, and the second the love song ended, you see the newscast of a terrorist dead and mutilated body in a ditch.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. And then basically the terrorist guy, I'm just going to call him the terrorist. He gets on the phone with Virat, and he's making threats. He blows up a food court. You see children's bodies flying in the explosion.
Jesus Christ.
And so the terrorist says to Virat, I want you, I need you. And I immediately started singing that Savage Guard. Ooh, I want you, I don't know if I need you, but ooh, I'm dying to find out.
I hope there's a terrorist organization that's like sponsored by Chica Cherry Cola.
So Virat goes recruiting at the Veterans Hospital. So he gets a bunch of dudes with no legs who are paralyzed or whatever to help him make bombs.
The suicide bomb, everyone. I love this guy.
Yes, that's his
thinking.
No, that's his fucking plan. He's like, we're gonna make these.
Like, you guys are missing some feet. Blow
no, he's like, make the bombs for me. We're gonna make these sleeper cells into coma cells, which is the best line of the movie. And then we're gonna do what they do: suicide attack. Boom.
Are they into this?
Yeah, they make C4 bombs for him. So the whole plan is that.
All right.
Yeah.
when you say like coma like cells, like are they just like pushing guys in like their wheel beds? Like
Dude, the
with bombs
wheelchair
strapped to them?
guys
Like,
are making the bomb. So
but are they like pushing the guys who are in a coma in their like wheelie
Yeah.
beds? Because that's what
I
I'm
wanna see a
picturing.
bunch
And
of
it's
dudes in
awesome.
comas wearing coma suicide vests.
But they still got like the little respirator mask on.
Yeah. 'Cause-
So the plan is Virat's going to let himself get captured by the terrorist who seems to want him alive. He's going to have a tracker on him, and wherever he goes, he's got a buddy. One of his army buddies is going to take the bomb to the location and just blow up all the terrorists, and Virat included. That's what he says. Suicide attack. Boom. And Bollywood Jolo Trulio's there, and he's like, I'm not cool with this. What the fuck? That's his role in the entire movie. So then we have a scene where Virat breaks up with Saiba. He's just like, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. You know, because I'm going to go fucking kill myself like a fucking terrorist. So what happens is Virat gets, on the phone with the terrorist. The terrorist has him drive a bunch of cars, changing cars constantly to avoid being followed. And eventually he's on a boat. And his buddy, takes scuba gear, and the bomb is now on the boat. And it turns out that Virat was moving all these cars, and they actually had bombs in them. And now the terrorist has him on video, basically planting all these cars in the place where they're going to explode. So he's kind of setting him up to look like the villain. And, the terrorist is working with some higher up in the government and whatever. And then you have, the terrorist just beats the shit out of Virat a bunch. And then eventually Virat, of course, is like, oh, you can beat me up, but how about don't you take my cuffs off, or are you afraid? So, of course, he takes the cuffs off, and he beats the shit out of him. And then he holds him hostage, which is a problem because these are, suicide terrorists. So, I don't think you could hold a suicide terrorist hostage, right? You can't hold them at gunpoint, and all their little suicide terrorist buddies are gonna back down. They're gonna be like, "Well, he signed up to die."
I guess you're
yeah,
right.
he's he signed up to
No,
die already.
I-
Fuck you all. You're both gonna die, and they'd shoot through him or something. I've seen this in a couple other movies, and I've had they were shitty movies, and I always have a problem with this.
But aren't the suicide ones they want to take out a mass amount of people, not just?
Oh, so that's
dude?
it. That's why they'd be like, "Well, you're only going to take out one.
Well, that's what-
not worth it."
That's what
Yeah,
I
I
would
think that's
feel.
fair, yeah.
I don't know.
I'd be upset if I
that
only
makes more
killed
sense to me.
one people if I was not that I want to be a suicide bomber. I'm just saying if I were, I'd want to be a good one.
Yeah, I don't want to waste my fucking life on one fucking weirdo. No.
All right,
you get to heaven, you get one virgin.
All right,
pissed.
fine, okay, fine. All right. So in the end, Virat gets away on another boat with the
thank
terrorist
God.
as a hostage. The boat with all the terrorists and all the information they need to keep their sleeper cell network active blows up. And then Virat basically laughs at the terrorists and then just shoots him in the head and throws him off the boat. Cold-blooded shoots him in the head, throws him off the boat. And then
Bin Laden style.
Virat's going to marry Saiba. And then the last scene is Virat's going back because he's in the army. His holiday's over. He's got to go back to his post. And then this really sad song about going away to fight. And
Wait, this was all his holiday?
yeah. Yeah,
that's right.
the name of the movie.
Fucking movie. That's great.
Poor guy.
Yeah,
That's funny.
and then a sad song
He
about
just can't have a day off.
a soldier is never off duty. That's the subtitle, and
it.
that's my
It
movie.
all comes full circle.
Yep,
That was good. I liked it.
the tone.
I'm glad we got to take the La Parka break in the middle, but still, I enjoyed it.
That was my favorite
I
part.
enjoyed the movie. All right.
Let's run right into our. Let's wrap this up. We're running long.
Yep.
Best bullet points, boys. Mike, what do you got?
All right, so I guess I went first. So, okay, picture Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man, okay? Now, picture when he makes that little tee-hee face where he puts his hand over his mouth.
He's an evil
and does
fucker.
the eye roll thing and blushes.
Tobey Maguire's an evil fucker.
Yeah, he is.
No, like
so
that.
just picture
whole,
him doing that.
you've seen Molly's Game, or heard about that?
Yeah, heard about it. I watched
so
it, I
he's
think.
like the nasty, evil poker player who just wanted to ruin people's lives.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
why
yeah.
he played poker.
He's the one that fucked her over,
was to
right?
fuck people over.
I
He's
thought
the
you
one
were
that, like,
saying
fucked her
Peter
over or
Parker
something?
was, and I got upset.
No. Tobey Maguire. He played poker just to fuck people. Like not literally.
That was
not
his thing.
sex,
He loved
but
it.
Yeah, he wanted to ruin
Yeah,
lives.
but they were all rich people, so it's kind of like
Yeah, you should be
whatever,
good
it was
with
his
your
thing.
money. Yeah.
Yeah, so good for him. But anyway, so picture him as Spider-Man making that tee-hee face, and that is exactly what Rancho looks like the whole movie. So like he just looks like Tobey Maguire, and yeah, it makes the whole movie like 3 times better. I noticed it like 30 minutes in where he did the exact hand motion, and I'm gonna send it to you guys so you can look at it later. But that's my selling point. It's amazing. It makes the whole movie greater.
All right,
I like it.
Angus. I feel like your movie doesn't need more selling points because, damn, you had a good description. But go ahead, give us top it.
I got like 3 quick ones. First one I mentioned, the feet shot. There's lots of feet shot of that woman who's really hot. That's for
Angus
one of
wins
you.
again. All right.
For the other one of you, the songs in it were like really good, and a lot of them were like reminiscent of like Repo the Genetic Opera and the way they were done, and like that like kind of like dark industrial type sound. Like
That sold me way more than the feet thing.
oh shit! Well, I didn't. I
That's
forgot that
great.
you even liked that.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah, I
liked
love
it.
it.
I forgot.
I gotta rewatch it again.
And
soon.
then
It's been a while.
it's so good.
I listen to the soundtrack a lot, but anyway.
I met Darren and he signed my
Oh
poster
yeah, my
for free.
DVD is signed.
It was,
You
was
got it
such a
signed
nice
for
I'm
me.
the
man.
only one that doesn't have anything signed from that guy. Oh, man. I hope I meet Paris Hilton to have her sign
But no,
something.
Darren didn't sign
Ooh,
mine.
that'd be cool.
Terrence did. Right? It's Terrence. What is it?
The guy who like wrote it,
Yeah, Zaduvinich.
grave robber.
Yeah, is he Polish?
I don't know. I know he loves cockroaches.
Is that a Polish thing?
That seems like a Polish thing.
Mike,
yeah.
is that a Polish
Yeah,
thing?
I think it's
Yeah.
To jest dobrze,
It is now.
cockroach,
Yeah, absolutely.
tak. Too bad we don't have any Polish.
I can't believe you're the one to speak Polish first in this podcast. Whenever we go over an hour 40 minutes, I feel like we get like face drunk. We get more drunker.
Dude,
because of
I am
time.
sweady and tingly.
So every
and
10
drunk.
minutes just makes us.
All right.
I had 2
just wanna
beers,
get
but they
to
were
the
10% a pop, so
So
Yeah,
that's
I've
your
had-
selling point. Good.
I don't ever drink.
I've had 6.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
Angus has had 6. He's
No, I
just
didn't finish my
warming up.
last
Oh,
one.
I'm sorry.
My last one was those 3 bumbling guys. Like, even though you guys already made the joke that it was kind of like us when they were trying to bang the hooker, the whole movie they're kind of like us. Like, it's just us if we were like 50, Indian, and had mustaches.
My 3 idiots was nothing like us.
Ours was like mine were exactly like us in every
That's
way.
awesome.
That was my selling
Except
point
for
for that
one
Italian
scene.
movie I watched, and you guys just said it was depressing.
Yeah, but yours was really depressing.
I
Mine
think
was
if we were
actually kind of
50,
fun and upbeat.
I think we're going to be depressing when we're 50. That's my
Yeah, but
plan.
yours was like them trying to bang the fucking baker's wife and the dude's dead. Like mine, they were making putty patrol sounds and then like trying to fuck fat hookers. Like that's so much better. Those are my selling points.
All right.
All right, so I mean, one of my selling points I kind of already went over was the tone is so bad.
Dead babies.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
That
La Parka!
that all of the fluffy, stupid romantic comedy bits take on a different hue because you just like, this girl shouldn't end up with this guy. He's a fucking murderer. But I already went over that, so I gotta have a different selling point. So my real selling point is that Virat, he's played by Akshay Kumar. He's known as the Indian Jackie Chan because he does a lot of stunt work. But what's important is he looks like a hunkier version if you took half part Tom Cruise and the other half Leslie Nielsen.
Oh,
He looks
that is pretty handsome.
just like Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
Mixed with Leslie Nielsen and then hunkified.
Nice.
So that's my selling
I've
point.
watched that for 2.5 hours.
Exactly. I was in. I said, and the dude dresses well. He's got great hair. I was like, fuck, I'll watch this. I don't care that he's a fucking murderer. I'd marry him. Well, now our selling points are all done. Let's not waste any fucking time because we're pushing 2 hours. Let's just jump right into the best part of our podcast, the part where we relate all of the movies that we watched to Paul W.S. Anderson's perfect classic Event Horizon in a segment we call The Horizon Shift.
Horizon Shift. Just real quick, back to my selling point. I Facebooked you the picture, a screen cap. Oh no! Okay,
no,
pausing.
we're not. Okay, fuck you too. Horizon Shift.
Pausing, yes,
Horizon
pausing.
Shift.
I'm paused. I am. All right. So my Horizon Shift is basically the Willy Wonka guy headmaster is basically Sam Neill, mostly because I can't think of any fucking thing else. But also because the way he defends his school and how everything else is run is kind of how Sam defends his ship about, being a murderous hellhole. So instead of death, Willy Wonka really just wants his kids to have nice jobs. But the idea of how he goes about it is kind of like Sam Neill. That's my Horizon Shift.
Okay, different.
All right.
Okay.
Different.
I kind of liked it.
Yeah,
thank you.
Fuck. It's so hard.
Because you had no idea what was actually happening.
Well, that, yes.
It's pretty easy. You had a lot of hell things in your movie.
Yeah.
But we don't want to take the easy way out on these.
That's true, yeah.
Mine was gonna be like, you have like the dead, like, demons, right, who are haunting everybody, like, killing them and stuff, but you're like kind of like, I can see where they're coming from in a way. Like, even when Sam Neill is like wanting to kill everybody, I was like, well, I can kind of see where he's coming from.
Face your fears, embrace your fears, become your fears.
Yeah, like, so it was something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
So your Horizon Shift is death empowerment. Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
Different. Both of ours are pretty good. If I do pat myself on the back there.
Okay. So mine is so the title is Holiday. A soldier is never off duty. Now, not all the letters, but if you take some of them and rearrange them, you get Event Horizon.
Your movie's an anagram?
Yeah, it's an anagram.
What's it called?
Wait, what letters are left over?
Well, quite
all
a few,
of them.
but you pull a few. But what other movie are you even going to get Event Horizon out of?
That's a good point. That's a great
That's
point.
a fucking lie because there's no Z in the title. My real Horizon Shift.
God damn it. And the funny thing is, we just accepted it.
Yeah, I'm just like, well, TJ wasn't
I
lying.
looked at it and I was like,
That's-
it was there, except it needed another N and a Z, but I wanted to see if I could get it by you guys.
No, you totally did.
You totally did.
But did
I think the fact that we did a 2-hour show.
Yeah, we're all
like,
drunk.
We're tired at this point. We agree.
But I didn't want to leave without a real Horizon Shift. That's why I outed myself on that. So my real Horizon Shift is basically how Virat, despite all the horrific fucking shit that is going on, all the blood sprays and the stabbings and the death and just nastiness, on the other side, like, the dude just constantly wants to get laid. He doesn't care how many fucking corpses are around. He wants to get laid, just like Richard T. Jones in Event Horizon.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
We don't bring him up enough.
No, we don't.
We only bring up 3 characters from the movie ever.
Yeah, Baby Bear, Sam Neill,
Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah, we bring
Lawrence
up our
That's
favorites.
it. Like, we never explore the others.
Yeah, like, I mean, I was thinking, like, there's Sean Pertwee. Sean Pertwee's never fucking touched. Like, we don't go after Kathleen.
Never.
Quinlan. Yeah, I couldn't even say her name. So, yeah. That's my Horizon Shift. Now
right.
we just...
That was a really good one. Well, that was
liked
our
it.
best Horizon Shift ever, in my opinion.
All right. Wow. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Now we can roll into
Not-
our voting. The winner of the episode picks the theme for the next.
I don't like how he said thank you.
TJ said that like you were just complimenting only him, not us as a group. He's just like, oh, well, thank you. I did work hard on that.
I
Like,
thought he was.
Your guys' weren't that good.
Oh.
No, yeah, I meant all three of us as a together.
Yeah, you said that was the best we've done, and you took complete credit for
Oh, I
it.
didn't hear the we part.
That was great.
I'm gonna just still take it personally. Thank you.
Of course. It's on all of us.
It wouldn't have been there without me. I had to bring it home at the end.
You tied it up in a nice bow.
Yeah.
I'm having a real hard time picking a movie here, since I picked first, because I really want to see the spooky Indian movie, but I really kind of want to see the guy who wants to have sex on a holiday, but he just gets children blown up in front of him. I really don't know who to pick. I think I would have to go with Angus's movie, because I've never seen a movie that's not subtitled or dubbed. And I feel TJ's movie didn't have enough music in it.
You know what?
Although
It actually didn't. It only had 4 songs. One of them, which was like a weepy soldiers have to go off to fight song. It needed it really needed one more really good like punchy song. Maybe a song about how I'm gonna fucking kill terrorists and I'm a murderer and I'm a terrorist myself.
Yeah.
An
terrorist murder,
kill the fucking
That would've been
terrorist
great.
song would have been good instead of just
That
the
would've put it
3
over the
love
top.
songs. But if it had one more song, yeah, I think it would have made it. But it needed more music.
Yep. Plus, I did like a few minutes ago Google Angus's movie name, and I did see the red spot, and it totally looked like a Japanese fucking flag. That was like a little push at the edge there. I needed.
Yes. That's
All right.
funny.
Whoever went second there.
It's me, so it's
You.
between Rancho and fucking terrorism.
Rancho the God.
Children,
Rancho the God.
Rancho the God and children burning. Virat's a fucking terrorist. Gonna marry this girl who doesn't know he's a fucking murderer. And Bollywood Jolo
have been waiting
Truly was
for-
not cool with it.
Well, you brought it up like about his lacking music, and you're kind of right. And then TJ saying like there should have been the song about like the terrorism, like killing them and shit.
I was surprised there wasn't. Yeah,
That would have been so cool. Like fuck, man, they really did miss a chance.
because like
on
I've
that.
seen
And,
there's
like, I'm-
this one of the movies I was considering watching, but again, like I said, I was like I'll restrict myself to things people might actually be able to see. Was this movie Dawn? Well, I watched the remake. There was a 70s or 80s version, but I watched a remake one. With actually, anyway, let me not get into it. Anyway, it's kind of like think like Bollywood Mission Impossible. I was going to talk about the starring actor, but it's not relevant. We've probably done too long. Is it like?
No, I want to hear that. So I
Oh no,
can't
his
stop
name's Shah
laughing,
Rukh
though.
Khan. He's like one of the richest men in the entire world, and he's one of the biggest Bollywood stars. Like he's like top 10 richest men in the world.
Oh.
He did this movie Dawn, which is kind of like Bollywood Mission Impossible. There's a sequel, Dawn 2. But he has a scene basically in one of them, a musical number where he's basically, it's called I Am Dawn is the name of the song. And he just talks about it, like basically how much of a badass he is. As like, that's the kind of song this movie needed.
Yep.
Yeah, like I don't feel yours had variety in it. Like that, and I'm not trying to sell my movie anymore, but my songs are like all completely different, and like I that actually kept me pretty entertained. Like the
Mine had jet
variety.
skis, so yeah.
Oh, I love jet skis.
Yeah.
They're so great.
Fuck. You may have just sold me on jet skis. Do you know how many jet skis I own? I own like 15 jet skis.
You're a
An
badass.
old inside
Like
joke
in GTA
again.
4 or something? Like what?
Yeah, it's a
This
joke
goes back
that
to
only
when we
me
were
and
like
TJ
fucking
will get.
16. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's a fucking.
It's not even funny to
15-year-old
tell.
joke, but no, not at all. So let's not. Yeah, fuck, man. I'm going with Rancho the Great, waiting for his new mixtape to drop.
Fuck yeah, Rancho.
That's
TJ?
up to me. So I can say I haven't been in between. Early on, I kind of already picked where I was going with this. I'm sorry, it's maybe not fair to pick early. But just based on the sheer amount of musical numbers and the fact that I can see it and know what's going on because it has subtitles, I gotta go with the Three Idiots because the way you've told me your movie, Angus, because there's no subtitles, you've made it to sound to me like I could go on YouTube, watch the musical numbers only, have a fucking blast, and not need to see the movie. But Mike sold this movie.
Yeah, but the actual demon scenes are pretty badass because every time they look like new demons.
You can't tell me that now. But Mike sold me a movie
just saying.
that's a mind fuck and a half. With this whole Chipotle and Rancho who's who. Holy shit! I gotta see this.
It's so straightforward.
Untangle it myself because even though he's
I'm not
spoiled the whole movie.
I'm not
for me,
mad.
I don't get it.
I picked it too.
Yeah. So
I'm not mad.
All right, I'm the winner.
You won by landslide.
I'm happy. I am happy. This made my week. Had a rough week. I'm a winner. Thank you.
I'm a winner. I'm a fighter.
I'm a winner. Now I'm really trying to drag out because I can't think of what I would like to watch. So I'm gonna have to think about it overnight.
Yeah, you don't have to pick a theme right
damn
now. We could announce it on Facebook later. It's nice to have it on the episode, but that's fine too.
Yeah, I mean, thinking ahead, and writing.
I'm leaning
down
towards
is a dumb
something
idea.
techno themed, but I don't know if that makes any sense whatsoever.
That sounds like a lot of
it?
shitty late '80s movies, like Circuitry Man.
Yeah.
Cherry 3000. Actually, I like Cherry 3000.
Don't. You're getting me into this, but no, I'm gonna think about it. Yeah.
All right. Well, Mike's gonna mull over his theme. We're gonna go mull over.
And then he'll change it fucking 20 times during the fucking text messages.
Nope, not allowed. Whatever he
to where we don't understand what it is.
Oh yeah, he's just gonna want to watch.
No, last time he came up with 19 fucking genres to where he just wanted to watch one movie.
80s comedy sequels, 1981 to 19 whatever the fuck 2 Jakes came out.
Has to involve men named Jake.
Yeah, how about
multiple men named Jake?
How about you pick a theme, not a movie this time, and we'll work from there. That'd be Be beautiful.
You got it, babe.
All right, twist and shout.
Goodbye.
Everybody laughed at that, except me and Angus.
I did. I was giggling.
I'm gonna go. Just think about how much I drank and what I'm gonna do with myself the rest of the night. Goodbye.
All right, everybody. Don't forget, we're now on iTunes and Google Play.
Right, yeah.
Please go subscribe. Leave us some good reviews if you like the show. Tell your friends. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram,
We're
all
out
that
there.
shit.
We're 16 Ounce Cinema. Just search us. You'll find us wherever you like to hear us. Bye.
See ya.